November. It's been a really good gardening year. Very hot year, very dry year, but the first year of me making these videos as a diary for myself, and I have really enjoyed it. I've learnt a lot of lessons on the way as well. I've got some friends who have YouTube channels, mainly in sport, and they've been telling me to put a little bit more effort in, make sure I record landscape instead of portrait to make viewing and playbacks much easier, and also not to make too many videos that's too long. Try to stick on focusing on certain types of things, certain type of plants, for example, and then make multiple videos based on the plants. And because I'm using YouTube as a diary and not as a job or something like that, I don't have to worry about posting too many videos. Apparently there's an algorithm thing where if you post too many videos it impacts your views. I don't really care about that, so for me, make as many as I want and make them more detailed. So if I want to make a video about Cosmos, for example, how well the Cosmos is still doing, come knocking on to November time, then fantastic, do one. Doesn't matter. So yeah, just a bit of a recap for myself. It has been a very dry year. So when I'm watching this back next year, there's no guarantee next year's going to be the same because I don't know what the weather's going to be like yet. There's a lot of colour still going in the borders. Now usually over winter this does literally go back to nothing. There's normally nothing left. And then when we head round to spring and we have all the daffodils coming through, the tulips coming through, there is just bare patches of land, usually waterlogged because there's a clay belt deep down. And yeah, that's about it. So I'm so pleased right now to see so much colour. I'm going to try and make videos all the way up to Christmas so I can just see how long this colour lasts for. It's nice to see the aces coming in well and look really nice with the creeper behind, climbing the fence. Next year, what I'm hoping to see is that back fence covered a bit more in roses. So I do have a climber on the second panel from the right, 14-foot climbing rose. On that top corner there, I've got a rambling rose, which was only put in as a bare root plant earlier this year, so all it's done is put a little bit of growth on. But again, that's another 14-foot plant. So a lot of that back fence should be covered next year with roses. I've got another one on this right hand side here which has done really well this year, put a lot of growth on. But again, I want to see that covering the fence a lot more. And in the final two panels on the right hand side towards the back is another climbing rose called Clarence House, which I've had for a long time, which has been relocated again this year. So what I'm hoping to see, I guess, next year is this full right hand side covered in roses from the start to the finish, and the back corner and the back two panels covered in roses, and then we'll see how it develops as time goes on. I have got a wisteria in that back corner which has grown back from nothing, which I will have to relocate. And I've already started to dig up some clematis which haven't really done particularly well over a long period of time. They tend to sort of flower really short for short periods and then finished. There's two there, for example, that did the same thing this year. And I've got a few at the back in the middle. So some of them that was spare on the right hand side I've dug up, cut back hard and put into pots. And at the moment that looks okay. So yeah, that's another thing I'm looking forward to seeing. And I'm just gonna mainly try and develop these troughs. I think that's another thing I'm going to keep an eye on this year. I kind of left them. So what I did with the troughs was I used to put perennials in, leave all the perennials in, not take them out, and just infill with bulbs. But what I found was it was really messy doing that. Really messy. And you get a lot of weeds, a lot of grass. So I'm going to spend my time this year taking some of these plants out at the end of the season, put them back into pots, and then I'm going to mulch the beds with some composted bark. I'm going to infill with a few bulbs soon, and then when the bulbs are all finished, I'm going to pull the bulbs out, and then I'm going to fill with plants over the season as the seasons go on. So instead of it being like this all the time, I'm going to focus on that. So that'll be interesting to see this time next year whether that's worked, how much different that looks. I think the other big thing that I'm looking forward to seeing next year is how the repositioning of the greenhouse works for me. Obviously, it's now half the size it used to be, and it's spun round. It used to be the full length of that section there, and the door was at the front here on the left. And having the pathway up towards the back is great now. I've been tidying up around the back of the greenhouse as well, and I've been organising all my bulbs on the side. That's why it looks a bit messy right now. But let's see if I can get an angle to show you. There, so you can see here. That section there is raspberries. Now, it's not very old. And I've just put a lot of manure down. And I'm hoping to get a better crop of raspberries next year because they only went in last year, end of last year. So this was the first year for them. But what I'm them pots basically there just to stop cats from digging in all the manure. There's no bottoms in them pots, so I might keep them there and grow a couple of outdoor tomatoes there in them or something like that. But what I want to do here is move a strawberry plant to the end of here. I want to build this up higher, put like a frame around it to grow on the outside of the raspberry canes, maybe pumpkins or something like that, and just do a bit more with this area here. See if I can do something a bit better. Obviously that's just a bulb table at the moment. I've got spare plants everywhere. Yeah. So yeah, I'm interested to see how all this plays out and develops as time goes on.